Hello guys, DJ Gez here. I wanted to make a quick video just talking about obstacle course races. As you all know, with COVID-19 and everything that's been going on, a lot of organizations are having to close events and stop races. And my game plan, being that most of my content revolves around these types of races, um, I was planning on trying to hit up a Spartan, a Tough Mudder, and a Savage at like the earliest I can in the season. So with where I'm located, that was going to be like all of May were those three events, and unfortunately, with everything that's been going on, all three of those events got canceled. But through that cancellation, I learned a lot about where to find information and what all the company's thoughts are on the whole thing. And I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update and kind of help you out on if you already are signed up for events, how do you know if you're canceled and what you should expect from these various companies. And then also if you're looking at trying to sign up for an event, what's already canceled and how long into the future should you plan out. And I gotta start by saying, all three, and that being, again, terrain. Oh, sorry, not terrain. Tough Mudder, Spartan, and Savage Race. They have all done a phenomenal job at trying to figure out what to do in this situation. Because the the thing we would all love is like, oh, we all just get a refund and get our money back. But ideally, that's not feasible because you got to realize like that's such an amount of money that these companies already have employees to pay for, expenses, insurance, paying for venues. Them asking for them for a refund really isn't fair. And also, too, just the fact that, when we signed up, there was no refund. But that being said, you can offer promotions, you can offer deals, and you can do all these different incentives to try to, let people still love being a part of a race, even if it means just a postponement or, whatever. So like I said, I think all three have done a really good job, some better than others. I want to start with Tough Mudder because that's a real interesting one because at the same time of all this COVID and the events getting canceled and whatnot, Tough Mudder also filed for bankruptcy but got bought out by Spartan. And what's interesting with that is, they're under the Spartan umbrella, but they will still function and run as Tough Mudder. But for the time being, what they've done is they've sent out an email, and that was the only way I could find any information. They had an email that basically said, we have canceled your event. So I guess they just picked the people whose events got canceled and they just sent an email saying your event's been canceled. We are going to offer you a code that gives you an equivalent race for either the 2020 or 2021 season you pick. So that's kind of nice because it's just, okay, this is just a postponement. I can pick any event I want and I can just sign up for it. I thought that was kind of neat, but what they've also did that I thought was interesting is as part of the email, they said, hey, we are now part of the Spartan umbrella, and to get Tough Mudder people interested in Spartan, we're going to offer you a code that gets you 2 free entries into the either like the open sessions of Spartan, which is really awesome because it's a code that literally you can pick any Spartan event. It has to be in 2020. That was one of the exemptions. And then you can just sign up for that event and another one. What I did do is I actually called Spartan themselves and I wanted to ask them, hey, this code, is it, tailored to the person who specifically signed up for that Tough Mudder event? And they said, no, it's literally a code that just basically just at the end of your checkout makes the whole event free if you have to sign up for an open group. You can't do one of the competitive groups. And I mentioned that. I was like, well, 2020 trying to get all these races in, might be a little bit tight, but could I sign up friends with that code? Like have them register, they use the code, 2 of them. And Spartan said, absolutely. Yeah, you can give this code out to people. It's just like a unique code for a free entry. So I was like, that is really cool. So that basically meant that, okay, my Tough Mudder was canceled, but I can sign up for free for any event in the future for Tough Mudder. And as long as it's in 2020, I can sign up for 2 free Spartan events, which, they usually start at like 130. So that's phenomenal on its own. So I give, thumbs up to Spartan for doing that. on top of that, too, I had signed up for a Spartan event. I signed up for a Spartan Beast in the tri-state area. And obviously that got canceled because that was, I think, April 25th was that event. And Spartan again said, we're sorry. What we're going to do is we're going to auto schedule you to some other event that's similar or equivalent. If you don't like the way it got rescheduled, then you can call or talk to Spartan and get it rescheduled to an event you want. They said you can reschedule it to a 2020 or a 2021 event. And then as we're sorry for doing this, Spartan also gave another free entry. They just haven't given the code yet, and it's only for 2021. So that's kind of nice too, because again, that's another Spartan event that got canceled, and I got a free entry. So right now, with just one entry to Tough Mudder and one entry to Spartan, I actually have 4 entries into Spartan and 1 Tough Mudder event. So I mean, this is like incredible. I really don't care. I'll take cancellations like this all the time, So I think that's amazing that they're doing that. And I think this is really cool too, because I am going to take friends along who I know have always wanted to do these kind of races. They just don't either have the funds or the money to to actually afford paying for an event. So I'd like to get them interested and try taking them out. And hell, maybe in one of my videos you'll see in the future, you're going to see I'll have friends with me that use that code. So that's really cool. Let's see, I made some notes for myself. I mean, I guess the only other thing too was that Savage Race, they took a little bit of a different approach. So one thing that's interesting with Savage is they set up that basically they do their rounds of going around the country and signing up for events from like spring to early summer. And so in response to this whole COVID-19 thing, basically Sam Abbott, who is I think the founder and CEO of Savage, he put out YouTube videos stating, what the conditions are, what are the things that we have to consider. But basically, if you signed up for an event and it got canceled, and they have a listing on an email of everything that got canceled, they basically said, okay, whatever your event was, we're going to reschedule you automatically to that exact same event later in the season. So for me, I signed up for a Silver Springs, Maryland event in May, and then they basically took that registration and moved it to that same exact event in the fall. And so, I mean, it's not like Spartan who gives free events, but you know what? I can't really complain. The only thing that's kind of a bummer for me, and this has nothing to do with the companies, this is just with the whole scenario that we're all in, is I wanted to give you guys really good content, and I wanted to be able to get videos out really early, so that way, like, if you were thinking about signing up for an event, before you go, I'll probably have a video for you to show you what exactly are going to be all the obstacles and anything new for the year. And I also spend a lot of money on some, like my GoPro. I got a really nice GoPro and some more equipment to make my videos better. And I was just hoping to get, videos out as soon as possible. But with everything going on, everything's been postponed. So that's why, obviously, I haven't been really posting anything. But, don't lose hope. There will be plenty of races coming up. Tough, Spartan, Savage, we'll get some trains in there, and hell, maybe there's some other stuff that we'll get in there. So it's going to be a good season if you guys can all just hold off. This is something that we all got to go through and work together, but in the end, life will go on. So I hope this was helpful. If there's any questions you have that maybe I didn't cover, feel free to just let me know in the comment section. But hope to see you guys all out there, and let's have a great year. All right, cheers.